You might have seen me talk about these. These are my very early pepper and tomatoes that I started. I got a video on it, and right now I'm getting them prepared to go into the raised beds. Each one of those little tree pot holders that has a tomato or pepper in it typically holds, or not typically, they do hold 25 each. So I've got 50 plants in here. And you just saw me put in water here because what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to plant these out tomorrow. But what I'm going to do while I'm preparing the beds is let them sit in water and soak up the water from the bottom. Let me show you what one of the plants look like. You can see this one here is pretty dry, and it's even got water coming, roots coming out of the bottom here. But water, these will soak up water and sit nicely in the location where they're going to be planted while I clean, or until tomorrow when I plant them. Now you probably saw here, or may have noticed, that I cut the tops out of a lot of these, most of these actually, if not all of them, because I needed to slow the growth because they were getting really tall and leggy, and a lot of the tomatoes were outgrowing the peppers here. So what I did was I cut them off, and that is causing suckers to develop, which I knew it would. It'll probably do it in a couple different locations, which is really good because the raised beds, I'm probably going to grow them on double stem, because double stem forces the plant to put energy into two stems instead of just one, which will keep the height lower as the season goes on, and that my cattle panel trellis isn't extremely tall. Plus I have plastic over the top of them. I'll talk about that after a while, but right now I'm letting them soak in water, and that's probably a bit much, but I got distracted. It doesn't matter. So we'll turn this off, and I'll turn it off at the pump here. So I'm gonna let these sit, and I'm gonna pull the cart out to the raised bed area, and I'm gonna clean up the beds where they're going to be going into. Then once they're done soaking up water, I'll place them where they're actually going to be planted. So I took a screen capture of my spreadsheet. I've got all my planning done in Microsoft Excel, and the screen capture just gives me a quick look on my phone where these are going to be placed. I've got 16 overall beds, 14 over here and 2 behind me. And I've completed the asparagus bed and one of the butternut beds, the overwintered butternut. So now I'm just going to methodically go down, because this whole area here, except for the butternut, is almost exclusively tomato and pepper, mostly tomato. And so we got the asparagus. I've also got grapes there. I'm not sure if the grapes are going to come back. I know the blackberries are, so I got blackberries here. And in the front of these 2 beds, the grapes and the blackberry is going to be the peppers, but the rest are going to be tomatoes. And I had put up plastic in an attempt to kind of see if it'll help with frost protection for the figs. And I've decided to keep it up because I remember growing, I had a greenhouse right over there, and for many years, and the best growing I ever had in my life was hydroponically growing hydroponic drip in a greenhouse over there. The tomatoes are perfect, never diseased, looked absolutely amazing. And I just suddenly, it just kind of clicked with me. I'm not sure if it has something to do with the UV protection from the greenhouse plastic, which is what's above, or if it's keeping the rain out or more consistent watering. I'm not sure exactly what that is, or the rationale behind it being so much healthier than when I grow it out in the open. Tomatoes, almost exclusively tomatoes, I have issue with, and so that's because they're so susceptible to disease. So this year I'm growing all my breeding tomatoes over here in the raised beds, and that's primarily what this is. Now the lazy garden over there I'll get into later, but we're going to do figs, and we're going to do all the squash and melons and watermelons and stuff like that. That's all going to be out there. They seem to do really well out there. They're not as susceptible to disease. And over here we'll just do the tomatoes and peppers, and of course the asparagus and the blackberries and grapes. So I've cleaned up the beds. Some I've added mix on top of. I'm not completely done with adding mix on top because I'm doing a water check right now, and I want to bury the drip hose or the drip tape here underneath. The only tear I had, or the only flaw I had in the drip system was that one. If you look at the asparagus beds, it had a rip in it, so I had to replace one length of that one. Other than that, everything is working just like it did the end of last year, and the water is going right now. Well, it was, I guess time is already expired. I have it on a timer, but you can see the little wet spots in there all along everywhere. So looks like the drip's working. I've got the areas more or less cleaned up, all the beds, and I did a blower to just get some of the extra crap off the fabric. Here are my tomatoes and peppers. I'm going to start putting them in the beds after I put some mix on top of it. I've topped up some beds here. The ones that I'm going to plant in for now, they're the top priority because I'm planting in them. And that's Rose Cherry Bear and those two. You've already seen me do or talk about the Honey Gold. That's the next generation of that. I've got Brandy Bear here in 3 of those, and I got Donovan in 1, and I've added mix to that, 1/3 perlite, or 1/3 aged rice hulls, 1/3 peat, and less than 1/3 of perlite because I didn't have that much on hand, so I've got to go get some more of that. And I added this yesterday. Those 2 beds, they're topped up, and those are also Brandy Bear. And then back here I've got the peppers that are in the blackberries and grapes beds, and the first 4 Corbello, and the 2 on the end here, the other 2 are Jimmy Nardello for a bat cross that I wasn't able to get to over the winter because the example I had did not have the coloration I liked. So hopefully one of these 4 Corbellos will, and the taste as well. And over here is Italian Sweet, and I'm thinking about renaming it Italian Sweet Orange because there's a lot of Italian sweets reference. There's not actually a variety called Italian Sweet, but I don't know, we'll see. It's called Italian Sweet for now. Peppers are in. These blackberry vines, the roots are absolutely no joke. That thing is about full of roots, so I'm not sure how the peppers are going to do, but they're going to have to fight for their right to live. On this side, the grapes, the roots weren't as extensive. I'm not even sure the grapes are even alive at this point. I'm looking up, I don't see any green. But I've got little bamboo stakes there because Italian Sweet gets a little longer than normal, even though I topped them off to slow their growth earlier, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So anyway, those are the Italian Sweets, and I've got 2 Nardellos and 2 Corbellos, or 4 Corbellos. We've got the tomatoes in. All the tomatoes are in. Most of them will be growing against the cattle panel trellis. Some of them, like these, will be strung up on tomato twine. These over here, I've got 2. I'm going to V them up a little bit wide. We've got some other tomatoes that are going in these 3 as soon as they're old enough. Right now they're not. And then the last ones here are Rose Cherry Bear. I didn't mention these, but those over there are Donovan. These are Brandy Bear. These three. So that's it for this video. All the beds are cleaned up. Everything's nice. Everything's getting planted out. Firstly in these raised garden beds, and the next would be the lazy garden. And I have to tell you, I love these raised beds. Makes everything so easy. It's a little bit costly up front and a little bit of work up front, but let me tell you, it is worth it.